Welcome. Are you looking for new ways to add depth and creativity to your scrapbooking, card making, and papercraft projects? Have you ever wondered how distressed inks can transform your design? Today, we're chatting with the incredible talented MK Gunn and the creative force behind Some Assembly Required. She's sharing her journey, her favorite crafting supplies, and a sneak peek into distress inks. Plus, she's teaching an exclusive class inside the Scrapbooking Fun Circle this month. So let's dive in. Welcome, MK. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and Some Assembly Required?
Oh, golly. Well, I am a mom of five children, and I've had a pretty interesting and full life. Let's just start there. And then back during 2020, I made the decision that I am going to take my ideas and bring them to life and start my own business. So I started December of 2020, technically, with a few friends, and then officially in January of 2021. So I'm super excited that I think this year I am 4 years old. My business is 4 years old, so super exciting.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm shocked because I mean I don't do a whole lot of advertising, and that's where people tell me that small businesses fail, and I don't think that I've seen that yet. So I'm very, very blessed with how the business has progressed. But I strive to create unique things that I feel like the paper crafting world is missing. Um, I don't want to follow anyone else. I think there's enough unicorn kitties out there that I don't need to make my own. And I don't want to follow everyone else. I want to look at my own life, see what my scrapbooks are missing, and make that come to life. So that's where it basically started and has blossomed from there ever since, by suggestions from customers or friends, family members too. That's awesome when they get involved and want to see something printed and in physical form. So it's fun.
That
You
makes
do it
sense.
really well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that
No,
makes
you
sense
do.
why you're here, because one of Tracy's things that she loves to do is find the not normal in the scrapbooking and card making world.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
makes sense
And
as
that's
well.
the products I love to bring in. So yes, they're unique. And I found you because of Facebook, where obviously you've been doing some proper advertising. So that's all I'm going to say. Okay.
thank you.
Hmm.
What inspires you to, like when you say people give you, what inspires you to create new things for your pages? Other people's ideas, your own ideas, like you just said?
Um, Actually, what really inspires me is how excited people get. So when they come to me with an idea, especially my kids are my most biggest influence. And when they come in with an idea, it's more or less ridiculous. But how excited they are and what I can do with that idea, like make it a little more realistic, then they get just super excited, like, yeah, that's exactly what I meant. And it's like, not really, but yay. But no, it's their excitement for just wanting to share the idea with me is what inspires me the most.
Do your kids scrapbook with you then, or do they get you
Um,
to make a scrapbook for them?
well, so when they were little, they used to craft with me. They loved my stamps. They loved making, like we used to, especially around Christmas time, we used to make ornaments, whether it was for friends or other family members or our own tree. That was super fun. So they like cutting up paper. They like stamping. They like seeing their pictures on things. But now that they're older, they're teenagers. They don't have time for that. Yeah, they're too cool, but they love bringing their friends in my office because it's attached to the house. And they just love walking them around the room and sharing everything. They pull out a scrapbook from the shelf and are like, check this out. That was me back when I was like, yay, big. And so I can tell that they love it. They just pretend that they're too cool for it.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. And like, I don't know about you, but I know like my daughter, got got older too, and she'd just be like, whatever, have her selfie, and then she'd be like, "Oh, why don't you just scrapbook it?" And I'm like, "Because you're too cool to scrapbook it yourself, but I know you like it, and I bet you, it's the same thing. They love it."
Yeah.
Excellent. So what type of products do you create? You were just telling us
Uh,
before we came on that your machine was broken. So what type of things do you create with your machine?
well, I love wood veneer. That is my favorite just because of the fact that I'm an outdoorsy person. I love the different colors of wood that I have access to. I love the wood grain look of it. No offense, I love the smell of it.
Mhm.
You guys don't get to smell it, but when it comes fresh out of the machine, it just smells like a campfire. It is awesome. Um, I love everything about wood veneer. I do dabble in acrylic. It's not my favorite because then I feel like I'm stuck in that one color. Like it has to match the perfect paper pack in order for me to use it on my page. So I don't bring acrylic a whole lot, but I'm okay with bringing acrylic. And then I do leather as well. So I don't think I've played with anything else. I tried paper. That scares me because I
Mhm.
am working with lasers,
Yeah.
but I did try paper once.
Do you have any examples you can share? Any?
So
Got
I love doing tree rings. Those are my favorites. I have several different kinds in different sizes, depending on how large or small you like to scrapbook, traveler's notebooks, junk journals, things like that. I also love building my own clusters and not really floral clusters. I don't do a whole lot of florals, but these ones are a winter cluster with pine cones. And
Very
the wood
nice.
is thin enough, as you can see, it's quite thin, so you can layer them on your layout as well. They take uh, they take markers beautifully, so they're not very thick
Hey,
products. They're self-adhesive, so you don't have to worry about what glue to use on your layout, and they stick. Once you find a spot for them, it better be the spot.
I've never, ever, ever seen a self-adhesive wood veneer. That's very interesting.
Well, and one of the reasons why I decided to do self-adhesive is because of how thin the wood is. If you guys can see, it's slightly warped.
Mm-hmm.
And that is
Hmm.
because of the heat I have to use to get the image on the wood. And so when you apply the adhesive to your page, it's going to lay completely flat because it'll suck it all down like a suction cup. So you don't have to worry about,
Oh,
I received it warped, but then once you use it, it actually applies flat. So that's one of the reasons
wow.
why.
Not only that, but it saves you just money on the adhesives too, like the
Absolutely.
client.
Yes. And the decision on what to use. Do I stand there for 5 minutes to wait for my liquid glue to dry, or
Yeah.
do I try my tape runner and it not be sturdy enough? Things like that. So
So what type of
Very
wood do
neat.
you use?
That's
Curiosity.
I'm sorry.
What type of wood do you use out of curiosity?
So I use a veneer, and it's actually a veneer coated on top of MDF.
Okay.
And so veneer can change color. I have birch, which is the pale white wood, mahogany and cherry, which is a beautiful red wood. I have what's called oak. It's actually called red oak because of the fact that it's oak on the outside, but the lines inside are red.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got almost a, I don't know how to describe it, but it's got a lot of red lines that change the color, almost like a zebra stripe.
Mm-hmm.
And then walnut is a gray wood. It's gorgeous. I love that one. That one's my favorite. And I have to try hard not to make everything out of it. But yeah, I've got lots of options of wood for because of the fact that it's a veneer and
Mm-hmm.
it's just laying on top of the MDF.
how do
Excellent.
you choose what shape, word is going to be this wood versus that wood? I'm just
Um,
curious.
for me, I think it depends on I look at all the collections that are out there. And if somebody wants to buy a piece of wood and then apply it to a collection they might already have, it's whether or not it will look good with other collections. So for boy collections, I tend to go for the darker woods. And then for the
Okay.
outdoors, I tend to go for my birch, just because then it'll take the marker without changing the color of the marker too much. If they want to apply it,
Okay.
like, like my greenery, actually turn it green, things like that.
Yes.
So, yep. And then
Okay.
for beachy, I like the gray woods because it reminds me of driftwood.
Mhm.
So it just all depends on what I'm making, more or less.
But it's
Okay.
interesting
It's
the
very
thought that
interesting.
you put into it, right? You're not just saying, okay, it's a what I like what you of how you're doing it is you're doing it based on
Mhm.
where it's going to look, not, oh, well, this is the cheapest what I can buy or whatever, right? You're doing it based on the
It's
outcome, which is
Yes.
yes.
very important, and that's very cool.
Yes. And then I also have acrylic, and all my acrylic is two-toned. So it either has a white, black, oh, it's backwards. I'm sorry.
No,
No,
right.
no, it's good.
You see it backwards, but we see it right.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. But it's white, black, or clear core. And when it's clear core, what I love the most about it is that it'll come in backwards if it's got a word, and then you turn it over and it's shiny.
Mhm.
But if it doesn't have a word, then you have the dull side or the shiny side, depending on what side you want to use, depending on the shape and if you like shiny. I don't like shiny. So, and then my acrylic is the same thickness as the wood. It's all thicker. My older stuff is not. My older stuff, I started out with 1/8 inch, but I decided to exclusively go to the thinner stuff because I just like how I can layer it on my layouts
Mhm.
and how it looks for all that good stuff. So, and then here is another one that these are little tags that have half snowflakes on them. So,
It's your thinner material, though, too. Is
mhm,
it now easier for the card makers to use them as well? Because I'm just thinking
absolutely.
about, for mailing the product, in a card, it's yeah, must be great for them as well.
Yes, absolutely. For card makers, I've actually seen
Yeah.
them in home decor, like them attached.
Okay.
The little tags I saw have used on packages for this Christmas.
Mhm.
So super fun stuff.
It's very cool. And a lot of card makers these days hand deliver because the cost of post is going up. So I think card makers, a lot of them are not mailing them anymore just because it's so expensive too. So
Agreed. Agreed.
especially in other countries, in the UK and Canada, it's pricey to mail things. So it's exciting. Do you have, like, in the themes that you do, what has emerged the most popular, if you know, for yourself, for people buying from you?
My outdoors.
Your outdoors?
Yep. Yep. I can't make enough of it. It's anything that I do outdoorsy. Um I hate to use the word, but it blows up. Like I can't keep enough in stock.
That's
So,
awesome. That's a good problem to have. Not always a fun problem to
Mm.
have when you're making it, but it is a good problem to have.
right?
What's new and exciting? I know you hinted something's coming on later this week.
So last month I have released a new stitching template, and so I'll take it out of the packaging. But last year I had my stitching rulers, which are designs for a straight line on your layout, and they are different kinds of patterns that you can put like over a either a gap in a piece of paper to make it look like a corset, or where two papers butt up and you want to make it look like they're stitched closed. Or if you just have a blank space, like a plain piece of cardstock that you want to dress up, you can add these lines and you get two rulers, which I think are 10 designs. So this is one design right here.
mhm.
And again, this detail here is just to show you how, when you stitch it, what it's supposed to look like. It gives you an idea instead of just random lines. This is a squiggly line, almost like waves in an ocean. These are hearts. And
Yeah.
then, I am so sorry. And then I have little flowers right here. Another wavy line, this chevron. This is a wonky cross. And then these are X's that don't touch.
Very
And
cool.
then again, they're just to create a decorative element on your layout. It was actually inspired by a sewing machine
Hmm.
that does the stitches, but they're so close together that it potentially rips your paper. And so I wanted to make one that was more for stitching, and you're able to get the design without ripping through any paper. And then I have this new template. This is brand new from last month, and it is to create circles. It goes from 1 inch all the way to 6 inches. And it is just, I've had lots and lots of people say how much they love this because the larger circle is what they were looking for. And so they could get templates up to 3 inches, but not this large of a circle. And I'm happy to say more shapes are coming.
Excellent.
So it's not just the circle. I've got lots of shapes coming. I just didn't want to do them all at once.
Hmm.
You got to give people breathing
Excellent.
space. So
And you have something you're not going to tell us, but if they want to find out, you have something coming out on Friday, you
I
said?
have something coming out on Friday. It's really, really big for me. I've been working on it for probably about 4 months now. I am super, super excited because I can't say much. But I've been looking into making this for a very long time. Didn't know how to go around it, but the more that I play with my images for the wood, the more comfortable I felt about designing this specific product. So it was so fun for me to do, and I'm super excited
So if
to
they
bring
want to be on one of the first to know, where should they go on Friday? Where are they going to find out about this?
my Facebook page. I will do a live and I will share it. It will be available for pre-sale starting on that Friday, and then it ships out um, the second week of March. So that Monday, the second Monday of March, I should say this is the first Monday because I don't think March 1st starts on a Monday.
Now, March 1st is same as February, so the third is the first. The third is the Monday of March.
There it is.
And the link is in the comments. We'll put it in the comments when we launch the video. So the link is in the comments to go to your Facebook group and check this out.
Not the group, the page.
The
I
page,
have
sorry.
a page and a group. So I know it's really weird what the difference is, but
Will it be available on your website at that time or
it'll be available for pre-sale
for
on
pre-sale?
Friday.
Okay, so
Yes.
they can go to your website as well and check it out for pre-sale.
Yes.
I'm curious.
Now you're curious. Yes, there you go. You don't get
Oh,
to.
I am curious. I am.
And that's the good part, you know? And if you're on our newsletter list, you're going to get the link in our newsletter on the 15th anyway, so you can check out what's going on our page and that. So if people want to buy your stuff, where do they go?
I have a website. It's Some Assemblage Required. I know it gets confused with some assembly, assemblage. And the reason why I went with assemblage is because assemblage means to take a bunch of different items and put them together to make a creative product. And I feel like as a scrapbooker, that's what we do, or as a card maker, as a crafter, that's what we do. We take objects from here, there, and everywhere, and we bring them together to create something beautiful. So that's why I chose the word assemblage. I just really, really loved it.
Unique, and that's
Excellent.
important, and people will find it. I was going to ask you, so they can follow you on Facebook, on YouTube as well. I know you have a YouTube channel, and definitely check out your website. So you are going to be doing, so MK is going to be our guest in the Scrapbooking Fun Circle. And if you're not familiar with the Scrapbooking Fun Circle, that is Tracy's and my membership. So it's a monthly membership where we have a guest every month, and MK is our guest for February. And we have challenges. So this month we're playing bingo. We have different challenges, different things. They can be anywhere from using your scraps to a theme. It changes every month. And then we also have co-crafting times. And so we wanted to have experts in like MK coming in, and she is going to be talking about distressed inks. So my first question is, why do you love distressed inks?
Oh my gosh. How much time do you
On YouTube, we have
have?
time.
Distressed inks is one of my favorite products because of how versatile it is. You can do so many things with distressed inks other than blending and then splashing water and get a cool effect. That is the most popular one I have seen out there. But there is so much more you can do with the oxide part of distressed inks, because it is a much wetter palette than the distressed ink itself. And so it stays on your paper a lot longer and allows you to work with it a lot more than the ink does.
Does it have
So,
a watercolor tendency to it, or is it?
I don't know Tim's secret super squirrel formula for it. I just know that I'm happy he made it because it's one of it's what I used to love. No, not used to. I apologize. I love Tim Holtz's products because of how grungy they are, but I never thought that I would get his inks because I already had inks in my stash
Mhm.
until he came out with the oxides, and then I had to have them all. It just I don't know. I think it's a hybrid between a dye and a pigment.
Mhm.
I'm not really sure what makes it so special, to be honest. I just know that I love playing with it. I love mixing and matching the different techniques you can do with it to create a background. So it's just fun.
I am curious just to, again, because we all think, oh, we use it. I've used oxides, but it's like, no, what else are we going to learn about it? I'm really curious. I am.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's fun. And sometimes everybody might have already heard of the techniques that you can do, but it's getting the courage to try it all and give
Yeah.
it a shot and go big or go home type thing. So,
Can you give us a
Yes.
tease of what you're going to be talking about in the circle? I know you have a page that you can show us a little bit of a tease of what you're going to be teaching our members.
so I'm going to be teaching how to mix and match ways to use the oxides instead of just using one technique. We're going to be using three different techniques to create a background for one of our pages. Or
Very
a page, not one. We're not making more.
good. A page. A page is good enough. That's good.
Well, once we learn that technique or those techniques, then we can make more,
There you go. Yeah.
right?
But it's fun to know that you can overlap and mix multiple techniques instead of just one way to use it, and then that's the only way you can use it without adding to it and building to it. So
Excellent.
Yeah. Well,
another
you're
thing too
getting,
is it's a very simple way to get a mixed media background without making a big mess.
that's actually interesting to hear too,
Yeah.
because I know a lot of people who would love, they do like the concept of mixed media, but they don't like getting messy. That's interesting. I like that line.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Yeah.
That's excellent. If you could, because not everybody who's listening to this video is a member, obviously, at this point in time, we'd love you all to become members of our circle, and the details on in the comments below about how you can join, or you can go to scrapbookingfuncircle.com. Um, if you could give people a beginner who's never even touched these distress inks, what would be one or two tips you would give them?
For a beginner inker,
Yeah, like they want to use it, but they're like, okay, what do I do?
well, I think the first thing that I would suggest is you get your favorite color. Especially if you just want to start with one ink pad, you get your favorite color. It doesn't matter if it matches anything in your stash, it's your favorite, right?
Mhm.
So you're going
Yeah.
to want to use it because it's your favorite color. Then you get a stencil that you absolutely love and a blending tool. And you just put a little bit in the middle of that stencil. And if it does not say, I have to use you more, then it's probably not for you. But it's gonna. You just get your favorite color and you blend it into your favorite stencil, and it's love at first sight because it blends so beautifully. It's rich in color. It's not you don't have to work for it. Like you don't have to press really hard to the blending tool because of the fact that it's so full of moisture, but it also dries really well too. You got to give it a few minutes more than regular ink, but
Okay, so what was your favorite color?
my favorite color was salvaged patina. That's the one that hooked me, hook, line, and sinker.
What is salvage patina for me who doesn't know names of things?
It is like an aqua color.
Okay.
So, but when it oxidizes, so when I add water to it, it turns green. So it's, I'll go get it for you real quick.
Go for it.
I actually can't believe that I'm saying this because people, who know me know that I'm not a pink person, but there's one of the oxides, the pink, a tattered, is it tattered? Anyways, now I'm gonna get mixed up and I actually love it.
Oh,
I'm like,
Tattered
who
Rose.
am I? People see my inks and they're like, why do you have pink? And I'm like, I don't know, I like this one. It's not tattered rose. I'm not gonna think of the name now.
Tattered Rose and Worn Lipstick. Because I'm not a
It's
pink,
worn lipstick. Thank you.
but Worn Lipstick comes in more as a peach.
Maybe that's why, yeah, because it's weird that I like it, but I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
salvaged patina.
That would be mine too. That's one of Tracy's. Tracy and I often show up in the similar colors of that. So,
yeah.
But when you add water to it, it turns green, like a
mm,
more green than this does. It's just beautiful. So it reminds me of oxidized iron
okay.
done. So that's why I really got it because I'm huge into gears and trying to make them look like they've been aged.
Hmm.
So I cut out gears, like say on my Cricut, and then I'll turn around and use um, like one of those. I think it's called a stone Nouveau drop, the one with the grit in it, the sandy.
Yeah.
So I'll use that to give it that gritty, aged look. But then I add this over the stone, and it gives it that I've been in the wetness look, like in the rain. So that's the one that
Wow,
started
now
it all.
you've got me thinking too. Are we done this talk? Because she cost me money.
It's all
I'm
good.
sorry, that's not what I meant to be.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
What would you say to somebody who's like just intimidated to try something new? Whether it's this or using your nature things, what would you say to someone who's just like, because we see that a lot. We hear a lot from our members. We bought all this stuff, but I haven't, even Tracy's guilty of this, but we haven't opened the box yet. Or we've ordered it and it's sitting there, but we don't want to open it because it's so pretty. What comments would you say for that?
Um, well, I got two, because it depends on what it is.
Hmm.
So if it's paper, I always say it's only paper. Um, if it's a mixed media tool, you always can get more white paper. Depending on how wet you want to get, you can always start off with copy paper. It does not have to be that fabulous, oh my gosh, $2 cardstock. You can start with any mixed media product using literally copy paper and test it, try it, make a mess if you want to. You don't have to. There are ways to make mixed media layouts without making a complete mess.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, but if it's a new tool, then by the time that if you don't enjoy it now, then it's going to be obsolete later.
Hmm.
And it's just one of those things that you think of it like your children. If you don't enjoy them when they're little, then it's going to be hard to enjoy them when they're adults.
Mm,
So sit on the floor and play with it.
I love that.
A really good way to say that.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
like
Tracy,
it.
take that box off the shelf. We tease Tracy a lot
Yeah,
about it.
okay. We're talking to okay right now.
But I have to give you a break. You didn't buy it. It was given to you. Slightly different.
Yeah.
Slightly different. But excellent. So yes, if you want to come and learn more about distress inks, you can see MK's passion for this just by the way she's talking about them. The circle, she's going to be live tomorrow in the circle, which is the 11th. So you have to join before the 11th, but if you join after the 11th, we keep all of our presenter recorders in there. So you can go back and watch. There's like 14 or 15 presentations. Our circle's just over a year old. And so they're all there. You can go back and access any of them. So if you're interested in this, also check out MK's channel, check out her Facebook group, and check out her website and order some of these really cool things that she has. It would be excellent to add those nice embellishments, or is that the right word for it? I'm the non-scrapbooker of the two of us, so there you go. I'm getting
You're
very
doing
good at the
great.
language, though.
You're doing great. And
Is there
also,
anything, if you were, kind of like a parting word to your audiences of people who are scrapbookers and card makers, what would you say?
A parting word,
Parting word. I don't know where that came from. There you go.
just for the video, not parting forever.
right? No, I just be creative every day. Tiny little thing, just be creative every day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right.
And if you have a favorite technique or anything, put it in the comments if you're watching the video. Let us know, both from us, because we will bring out not only for the circle, but we also run the Scrapbooking Fun Summit, which is coming up, and MK is part of that again. We want to know what you want to know, right? So MK is a
Mm.
creator, so she's always going to want to know what you're interested in because that will spark her creativity. Tracy has her own store, and she's always going to want to know what people want to see in their store. And we want to know for our summit and for the circle, what are people interested in? What do they want to know? If you've had an experience with distressed inks, or you've ordered one of MK's amazing products, put it in the comments. Let us know. Let us know what's going on. So we would appreciate that. Give us a follow, subscribe to us, go to MK's YouTube channel and subscribe to MK as well. And enjoy paper crafting and scrapping. That got created a new word. Paper making,
It works.
and
See,
card
it's a
making.
creative word.
The creative word. It's a Monday word. All good. Thank you so much, MK, for joining us.
Yes.
All the links will be in the comments, so check down below the video. And we're excited to have you. We're excited to see what you create tomorrow. So thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.